Hello everyone, Starltros here, coming back with another video covering the latest update from FFBE JP. So today, just a small update covering Fina Revenge of the Lost Nation. Second part, well, second banner of the anniversary event. Is there going to be a third one? Probably. Is there going to be more? Probably. So we'll see what's coming next, but for now, we only have Fina. So let's get right into it. So in terms of TMR, STMR, well, TMR completely forgettable. STMR is a bow, so not the best weapons out there, but we got some mages. Well, Fina's been using bows forever anyway. So 248 attack, well, magic, sorry. She has 100 fairy killer and the classic 505 stats. In terms of categories, sorry, she's covering for light, fire, wind. So wind she shares with Lastwell at least. So maybe more wind units to come. Who knows? We'll see. Then she also has anniversary, obviously, evocation, blessings of the crystals, guardians, and flowers of the battlefield. So she's going to fit with Rain on a crystal team. She's going to enhance any evocation team for sure, because evocation always need more help. Otherwise, she's going to be, because she's a girl, she's going to be helping the flowers of the battlefield, and being mainly a light unit. They're gathering a little bit of a light flower team out there, so we'll see what's happening with that. In terms of the vision card, well, a little bit like Rain and Lastwell's last week, 140 magic this time, so they're slightly bringing it up, but still not as good as the premium cards from before, so forgettable. And her EX materia is a 50% overkiller for birds, because she's using a bow, and everyone who's using a bow hates birds. Now, if we keep looking down, she can only equip rods and bows, so her equipment is a little limited. But she's going to be she's going to be equipping her STMR anyway. She has a special equipment; those are clothes that you're going to be able to go and farm through an event. So you need to go and upgrade this thing. It's actually pretty good. 98 magic, 30% MP, and 5% MP refresh every turn. Very nice. So not even just for her, but for other people if you don't use her. So even if you don't pull for her, by all means, go ahead and get this. It's going to be very good for your mages. In terms of her kit now, she has, the usual, EX1, EX2, you flip a coin and you hope you get the LB 500% LB damage at EX1 or something good at EX1 anyway. So for her, you get the good stuff at EX1. So a fire, wind, and light 150% amplify for the entire team. So they're generous once again because she's a support unit. And then when she gets to EX2, she gets the 500% LB damage. And also, and here this is something that's a little different, she gets 200% amplify for herself and a friend. So that's the first one of she's the first one of that kind. Even more supporting. Great, Fina. Fina is always there to help the team. That's great. So she gives a 200% amplify for herself and somebody else at the same time. Very, very good for light teams. Otherwise, the rest of her kit is, the usual things. She does have an evocation chain, and it's a tag chain. So do with that as you will. It's nice that tag chaining isn't dead, I guess. And she does have unlockable chaining abilities here for fire and for wind. We're going to see them in the unlockable moves a little under, and there's this move as well to buff up as well. When she uses this cooldown, she also auto casts focus at the start of every turn for 3 turns. So that's very nice because she can use these for 4 turns. So that works pretty well until you can then cast this again after 6 turns, unfortunately. But still, she can burst for 3 turns in a row with these, so that's pretty nice. She also has a field for 70% amplify on fire, wind, and light. She has I think it's getting more and more frequent that units will have this, so the 400% attack defense magic spirit buff. We can completely forget that part. And then she has a 500 MP refresh for the team, which is nice. And here's something else that is pushing the boundaries once more. She can give to herself and a friend a 600% stat buff. So she's the first of her kind doing this once again. It is very good. But you just keep pushing some more, and some Magnus ability, so it's gonna be just once per fight. But Dark Visions, you only need to burst once anyway, so pretty nice. Does that make her a must pull? No, but it is nice. Then here she gets a mod buff for her abilities at EX2. That's where she reaches max potency, but it's not that big of a difference anyway. Well, it is, but it's not the make or break thing for her, let's say. The rest of her passives, she gets some evocation stuff because she got an evocation chain out of nowhere. Then here, if we look, this is the unlocked buff that she gets from the cooldown ability. So it gives 3,700 more to both of these abilities down here, and it increases the, well, it's an amplify for Fire, Wind, and Light for herself for 100%. So this makes it so she would only burst at max potency for one turn, but she could still do it at, half the power for two more turns, I guess. So is it bad? Yes. Is it? But it's there. It's she can still do stuff. So overall, with this mod buff, the mod, and the EX2 buff, it's an overall 8,100 times modifier, which is equivalent to a 900 times LB, so not so bad. But her LB is for light way stronger anyway. She has Enlightka. We have a lot of units with that now, but it's always good to have units you can imbue on your team, so that's great. Her leader skill is a 1,500 percent buff for Flowers of the Battlefield and Light. Like, I know it still says or, but it's a parsing thing with the wiki team. Like their bots are pulling the mining the information, but they can't get that thing correctly. But it is if they are both, just like Rain and last week. So if they are both Light and Flowers of the Battlefield, they're going to get 1,500. And if they're only Flowers of the Battlefield, then they're getting 1,250. So she is going to work very well with Elena, with Lunafreya, with Riku. Sadly, let's say Riku is not the biggest damage dealer, Elena neither, and also both Riku and Elena kind of prefer lightning, but they're light as well, so they can go with her. They can go with Fina, and I keep forgetting that Terra also fits with that team with her chain abilities. So we kind of have a little bit of a core team for Flowers of the Battlefield Light. They just don't mesh all that well together with their main element, sadly. But it's good because her Overdrive skill also gives a 30% damage increase for light allies. So anyone that has the light tag is going to get this. Very good. So that would be Terra, that would be Luna, that would be Riku, that would be Elena. So even if they're not using light, they are going to be getting that damage buff anyway. So that's very nice. And when it comes to her LB, it's a 1,000 times plus the mod buff that she gets from the cooldown that they all have. So that's 1,120, which is high for mages, but sadly lower than Sophie that got an NVA last week, and just higher than Ace that also got an. I say NVA, but it's NVA plus. NVAs are kind of dead now, so I'm talking about NVA plus. And yeah, Ace that also got it at just 1,000, so she's kind of in the middle. Obviously, her stats are better than Sophie, so it's not all bad, but come on, power creep mages too. They need some love. Final thoughts. Do I think you should pull for her? I don't think she's a must pull personally. If you like Fina, if you have a good Flowers of the Battlefield team, by all means. Or if you have a good Blessing of the Crystals team as well, she's going to fit right in with Noctis under a Rain lead. So Noctis, Luna Freya could be there as well because, Well, why Elena Freya? She's not Crystal, is she? Anyway, people who have been using the Crystal team know what to do, because I don't have it. But yeah, I don't think she is a must pull, but she does have a couple of new mechanics, well, not mechanics, but new types of buffs that are interesting. She's just not pushing the boundaries all that much for me personally. Now, for the rest of what we're getting this update, we are getting a raid event. So, the usual, go and spend your orbs, get all the rewards. This is not as grind heavy as a box event, so enjoy the reprieve. It's going to be nice. She's getting a weapon enhancement, well, an armor enhancement event for anniversary store units to get her clothes for that 98 magic thing that had 30% magic and some MP refresh. Next one here is a new true purgatory trial for Thunder. So we're not going backwards to do them all back in order. We skipped over Wind. So we're going to do Thunder now. So they're adding this Ultima, I think it was Ultima weapon from Season 2 to the fight. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a machine still because it was a machine in the fight that we had before with this boss. I still haven't done the water purgatory trial, a true trial. I know people have been clearing it lately a lot. I still have yet to actually really try it. So I probably won't really bash my head against that new wall anytime soon, but it is there. So go ahead and try your best Thunder units for this. If ever you have a good Thunder team, I guess it's time to tell Elena to go crazy. Go ham, have fun, girl. Another event that is coming back is Road to Glory. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. Road to Glory. So Road to Glory was, because I think we might have a lot of new players now that have never seen this. It started earlier this year. We've had it twice. And it... I don't know if they modified it. Well, we're going to see if they modified anything because I feel like we haven't gotten a single iteration of it in such a long time. Kind of feels like they wanted to do something more or kind of tweak things around. I don't know. So it's another type of event that is supposed to be coming back, I guess, monthly or bi-monthly something. A little bit like Dark Visions. It was meant to kind of mimic Clash of Wills from Global in a way. So basically, what it is it's an exploration from an old exploration you've done in like Season 1. So you go through the very same map. You have to collect chests. They are also in the same places mostly. There might be one that's been removed, one that has been moved around, or an extra one that's been added, but it's mostly the same locations. So you can just look up the maps of those explorations from Season 1, and you're going to be able to find your way around. And what makes it like Clash of Wills was you could choose modifiers to make the run harder, to gain more points. So there could be more encounters, there could be higher enemy attack stats, higher enemy defense stats, higher enemy HP, blur the map, have fog on the map. What else was there? Add special enemies. Like there's a ton of different modifiers like this. Getting all the chests will also give you extra points. So what you want to do is, yes, and also have a specific unit category restriction to do it, to gain the point. So what you're going to want to do is play around with those modifiers to find the sweet spot of what you can run to get the highest possible score. It is possible for multiple people to have the top rank in this because it's in tiers. So you have Crystal tier, you have, I don't remember the other tiers at all. Rainbow, no, I don't even know. But I know the best. I'm not even sure it was the best one. Anyway, one of the tiers was Crystal. But you'll see after you run the event once, there's going to be a little pyramid showing you where you stand. And every time people complete the event and get better scores, then the tiers kind of they kind of thin down. So the higher people score, the higher you will need to score to remain in the highest possible tier. which means that you need to go back and look at your score every now and then to make sure that you are still in the highest possible tier. And if you're not, run it again with higher modifiers to try and do better if you want to get all the rewards. In terms of rewards, as you can see here on the banner, there was Wilk and Sky that were ported over from Global. Those units are mostly like most global units that come to JP. They're not that great, but they weren't as bad as others before. They were a step in the right direction. I think I said that in the previous video. Um, so they're going to be free units, so just enjoy them. They're also shift units, so I guess if I'm not even sure they drop shards in the shard dungeon, but I guess if you need a shift unit, they could be it. Uh, but you can have all the fragments you need for them by clearing the event and exchanging them with these little things that you get by clearing the event and as rewards after the event as well. So you don't need to put them in your shard dungeon at all. Like, you shouldn't. I'm just saying you can if you're feeling funky. Otherwise, what we have that I wanted to mention for this update is we have a couple of new banners, and there are new types of banners that we are seeing for anniversary. We do get the question a lot: are those good? Should I pull for these? The answer most of times is it's a trap. And for these, I mean, this time around, I feel like they're even more trapped than usual because they are sending a lot our way. So this one here is for it's to give you units from the Crystal category and the Royals category. But at the price they are for what you're going to be getting, I don't think this one's gonna be worth it. Like, I mean, sure, Noctis and Tyvus are great, but you're not gonna be getting them even if they're on the banner. Let's be honest here. So if you feel like you want to go and burn 28k lapis on this, I can't stop you, but I won't be pushing you in that direction. Another one here is there's no specification for this one, but it's more of a step up. So maybe doing the couple first steps is a good value, but like the first step is only 3 units for 500 lapis. It's not bad. The second one is 11 units for 1500 lapis. Once again, not bad. But if you had to ask me, I would I would leave it there. I wouldn't go for the other steps. Even though we are getting, better units, and there is a guarantee for NV plus here on the last step. You might get you might get an old NV plus like say, I don't know, Vaughn that no one's using anymore, or Bosch that no one's using anymore. So eh, it's a gamble. Do you want to do it? I wouldn't, but you can by all means. Another one here. So you see Rain, you see Fina. They're all cute, and you hope you'd get them. Once again, it's a trap. And I mean, once again, the first 2 steps, sure, why not? But step after that, if you value your lapis. Otherwise, swipe the credit card and do whatever you do. I'm not your mom. And another one here, and this one's in an even bigger trap. Yeah, it's just trap polls. So if you're wondering, should you poll for these, Saltros says no, but maybe somebody else will tell you otherwise. Maybe your gambling addiction will tell you otherwise. So you do you. Um, but yeah, that was just my little primer on should you pull on those banners. Is that a trap or not? I call trap. You do you. And that's all we had for this week. So just a short update, and good luck on your polls if you guys want to go for Fina. And see you next week. Bye.